Welcome all to Danny's Bunk Garage. Today we have this piece of dump, and what we're going to be doing today is assessing the overboosting problem, the boost creep problem. Really quickly, I'm overboosting on the Mazda Miata. I've taken the wastegate actuator taken the wastegate rod completely off of the flapper, and it's still overboost. So we're going to take the turbo off today, examine a few things. The wastegate hole, we might need to port it out. So we might need to get a tool to port it out, a Dremel. But for right now, let's get everything off and let's see what we're working with.
This is what we're looking at today. Here's the turbo, the hot side, the downpipe, the cold side. We're gonna try to get off the hot side today. If you can tell, this is like a V-band adapter on the back end of the turbo that connects to the downpipe, and this V-band adapter actually has the wastegate flapper on it. So we're gonna actually try to take this off. As I was looking through this, I noticed there's a hole literally back here. It's missing a bolt, so we gotta look at that too. Downpipe unbolted from the exhaust, V-band undone from the downpipe. Now on to taking these out. So here is the V-band adapter that goes on to the turbo. Turbo, V-band adapter from the 5-bolt flange, downpipe. And here is the actual wastegate flapper that opens in and out. So I'm gonna take off the actual turbo now because the hole for the that lets in and air out is on the actual turbo side, which is right there. Not gonna lie, I really didn't want to do this today because I knew this was gonna be a pain in the butt. Let me show you what I've done so far. Got the V-band off, I got the nuts off, some came off with the studs for the actual turbo to manifold, and now I'm trying to get just this piece of the turbo off. There's little retainer things that keep it on this piece of the turbo. I got it off right there, and also right there. Now it seems to be wiggly, so I could probably take it off right now.
Standing on the edge of a cliff, realize there must be more.
Here we go. Here's a little Turbski. The little thing that's making that noise is the little cover. But jeez, didn't want to do this because this entire job is pretty scary to me, because if I mess up, I'm screwed. So hopefully we don't mess up. What you feel? I just went and picked up a Dremel. I have this bit on the end. It's like a diamond, it's supposed to be like a drill bit type thing, but it's super rough on the edges. So what I'm going to try to do is, here is the wastegate hole. Here is the hole that the exhaust gases come out of during when the wastegate is wide open and you're trying to not overboost. What I'm going to do here is, if you can see this outer ring around here, this is where the wastegate door is on the entire thing. This flapper right here goes on this outer ring that is more of an orangish color. So what I'm going to try to do is port out the hole on this side just a little wider, not to the ring, but maybe halfway distance between that and what it is right now, and that will let more exhaust gases come out through this hole, thus not letting it overboost in high RPMs. What I'm going to do right now is take this Dremel tool, try to bore out this hole right here. I'd already done it a little bit, that's why it was kind of silverish when you saw it. I think it's going to work. If not, we'll have to pick up a different bit, but let's try this first. Here's what we got going so far. Compared to that line before, it's much farther down. I'm going to check right now with the other side and make sure that the V-band or the wastegate flapper still goes over it. You can tell the hole is so much bigger than it was before. Here's that ring again, just for comparison. It actually looks normal around the ring. Before, there used to be a lot more room on this portion right here. I didn't touch this portion at all, but this portion got ported out a lot, so we should be good. So this is gonna be very hard to see, but you can see in here right there, there's the part of the wastegate that's connected to the wastegate flapper right here. And notice how there's no sunlight right now. Actually, I have my iPhone over here that has the light on. Notice how you can't see any light in there right now, and when you pull it up, there's that pocket that opens up. Once you reach your target boost, that little flapper opens up, and the air from the exhaust not only goes through the turbo now, but it also goes through that door because it doesn't want to overboost. So it just does just enough air to take it away from the turbo side to keep it from over spinning. Right before this, before I did this, my car was over boosting. It was just way too much airflow for it. Even that little door right there, when it wasn't ported, which was smaller than the hole right now, when it was smaller, I would over boost because there was just so much air that it couldn't deal with it. These eBay turbos, these really cheap turbos, this is like a $200 turbo, they typically come with the hole smaller than it should be. So if you have like a name brand turbo, I'm not going to say any names, but the hole should be big enough to where it wouldn't be a problem in the first place. So this is only applied to cheaper turbochargers because the holes typically come smaller than they should be. And as we could tell today, compared to the door for the wastegate that was in here, compared to the hole that was there, the wastegate door is much bigger than the hole and it could easily be ported out like it was today. So hopefully this will keep me from over boosting. So right now we just have to put everything back together, make sure it all aligns. Never taken apart the turbo before, so should be interesting. Hopefully I don't mess anything up on the reinstall. So let's do that. We are on the turbo side. If you can tell, the downpipe's disconnected. It's disconnected from the exhaust. This I just threw back on here really quick. I got these bolts started on the actual the cold to the hot side. Ghetto, 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 ghetto. There's actually a pipe in here, and that's how this is being able to be clamped down hard. But this will be changed within a couple days. I actually have the couplers and everything, but this part of the tube front end that is holding up the headlights is screwing it up. So we're gonna chop off this, and Kyle's gonna re-weld this pipe farther back. Literally about to put coolant in my car because I flushed the system because the coolant was looking weird. It was like looking like almost, it was like there was a couple brown bubbles in it, but it came out green. But mid-install, and we get a notice that there is a fire. It might be hard to see, but there's smoke up there, and we might need to evacuate, so kind of sucks. Classic San Diego for you. You can't go anywhere without having a fire somewhere. My coolant overflow tank actually had a crack in it, and it had a crack in it for a while. I was wondering why I was losing coolant on a certain level in the coolant overflow tank. When we did the tube front end, the coolant overflow tank came out, I realized there was a massive crack in the back with actually chunks missing. So my new coolant overflow tank is the best thing possible. It's aluminum, has a cap. Cap enables for a line to go in from the radiator. Don't get pissed at me, check it out. Up bottle. So this is aluminum, which is good. It's the same stuff made out of the radiator. Aluminum stays cool, that's what you want the coolant in. Drill the hole in the cap that twists on and off. Like honestly, I don't think this could have been any better. And I secured it in with this bad boy on a line, so it should be good. And then I just put in the new coolant. I don't know if I showed that. When you drain the coolant and put new coolant in, it's always a good idea to burp the system. So what that means is basically leave the car on until it gets hot, and then the water pump starts flowing and all the air comes out. Or the air that might be there or might not be there. Alright, we're in the car now. We got Eli over here to add that extra weight so we don't overboost. But hey, the idea is I'm just gonna full throttle it and it better not overboost. And if it does, Eli, you're going to be in the second accident. Just kidding.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe you should rethink this on falling.
I realized I never ended this video. Let me do it really quick because I really want to get this video out to you guys because it's been a couple days and I don't like doing that anymore. I like getting videos out as soon as I can. I wish I could really show you, but I never got a shot. I'm at school right now. I'm already late, but I'm going to explain this. So what happened was I got everything back together. I went on for the ride and I never overboost in gear 1 and 2, so I thought I was good. But then gear 3, 4, and 5, I overboost at like 6,500 RPM, so it's really high in the RPMs, but I'm still overboosting. So theoretically what I could do is go back in and shave more of the flapper and on the downpipe area so the wastegate door would open up more and the actual wastegate hole would be bigger. So I think I'm going to do that at some point. I'm not going to do it anytime soon just because it takes a long time. It's a full 4 or 5 hours just to do because all this stuff I have to take off the turbo and put it back on and reassemble it. But I'm definitely going to do it at a later point. I was getting some boost creep in first and second, but it was manageable since I wasn't going over 11 pounds. That can actually be tuned with just turning off the electronic boost controller and the later RPMs is what I would think I'd be doing. So that isn't a huge problem, but the car drives, everything's good. There's going to be a video in a couple days from now explaining what happened during the weekend. I didn't film any of it, but it's going to be more of like a mystery to you guys, to where I explain all of these things and then you guys guess what happened. But at the end of the video I will tell you what actually happened, but I'm going to give you time to guess what happened. So that should be kind of fun. That's a video I'd want to watch. I'd want to watch it because you learn something from it, you know, your mind's going and stuff like that. But I gotta go. I'm at school right now. I'm already super late. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.